Hello, friends. Welcome to the Beary Cute online card class. This month, we are going to be making 3 handmade cards using the Beary Cute stamp set and punch, along with the Walk in the Forest designer series paper. I am so excited to get started tonight. If you are here and watching live, give me a shout out. Let me know where you're watching from, and let me know if you're making some handmade Christmas cards with me tonight. If you're watching the replay, special welcome to you as well. I love that you guys come on later and watch the replay. That is amazing. And of course, if this is your first time here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. I am Heidi with Onigo Stamping, and I provide wannabe crafters, wannabe artists, just like you, with lots of tips, tricks, and inspiration to create beautiful handmade cards and gifts that are going to wow your friends and relatives. So that's what's happening. Hello, Karen. You're just watching tonight. All right. Hello, Anna. You're making cards. Awesome. Love it. Love it when you're making cards with me. So, all right. Let me see. I felt like I was. If this is your first time here, I hope that you will come back and join me again. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so that you always know when I'm going live. I am going to go ahead. I'm going to jump right in. I'm going to make my screen look a little bit bigger, so that we can see what's on my desk and we can jump right into this. We got a lot going down tonight. So hello, Julie and Nancy. Nancy is stamping with me tonight. Awesome. And Mimi, welcome, 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 everyone. All right, so here's the stamp set. Super cute, very cute. It's even in the name, very cute. It reminds me of strawberry shortcakes. Did y'all have strawberry shortcakes? Everything was berry, except that was Berry instead of berry, like a bear. So anyway, this is the adorable stamp set we're going to be using tonight. It also comes with a coordinating punch, which I love. And we're going to be using a Walk in the Woods designer series paper. Now, this is a 12 by 12 paper. I cut it down to 6 by 6. And if you registered and got one of the card kits, you got a 6 by 6 sampler of this pack. So you can use it to make the cards and have some leftovers to do other things. It is super cute. There is a Beary Christmas designer series paper that is in the suite with the Beary Cute stamp set. Okay, so this one isn't in the suite. This is a separate one, but it coordinates with the Beary Cute stamp set as well, and the punch. And we're going to punch one of these tonight. So really cute set. The other thing to know about this paper is that it is Stampin' Up's, what do they call it? I don't even remember. But what they do is that with every purchase of this pack of paper, $3 is going to be going to Toys for Tots in the United States. They picked organizations, different organizations in Europe and in Australia, but in the US, it's going for Toys for Tots. Yeah, super cute. And it matches some other stamp sets too. So you're going to be singing Strawberry Shortcake. That's what I'm here for. Yeah, I'm not even going to think about that because that will totally get in my head. It has really cute designs on one side, some, bears and trees and leaves. And then, of course, as always, the other side has fun, simple patterns. I love patterns. So really, really cute stuff. We're going to make this into some cards. I'm going to set my paper aside for a minute because actually the first card we're going to use the first card we're going to make, I cannot talk tonight. The first card we are going to make does not even use pattern paper. So if you're stamping along with me, go ahead and grab your envelope that says number 1 on it. We're going to pull out the supplies inside. You're going to have a piece of white and a piece of balmy blue and a white card base. You also have a piece of white that is cut with some dies. I'm going to go ahead and cut this to show you. This is using the Nested Essentials dies, which are my favorite. You guys know these are my favorite, currently my favorite kind of basic, my basic die set. So I'm going to use this big rounded rectangle. I don't know what it is about the rounded rectangles, but I really like the rounded rectangles. I use them a lot. I'm going to cut this out. I need to grab my base. You love the set, Mimi? Oh, I love the set too. Me too. It also coordinates with another stamp set, the is it Marius Trees? Something trees. There's a tree stamp set. And if you have the dies that go with that tree stamp set, it will also cut out some of the images in that A Walk in the Woods designer series paper, which is really cool. I really like it when they make designer series papers that coordinate with more than one stamp set. Kind of get more bang for your buck out of them that way. All right, I'm going to cut this out. Oh. I don't know why I didn't cut this ahead of time. I think my other dies I cut. And this is, of course, all cut for you if you have the card kit. But here is our little die cut piece. So I'm going to set aside the card base for a minute. I'm going to set aside the balmy blue for a minute. We are going to start with some stamping. Hopefully y'all have a sticky note or some masking paper. I have my sticky note here. I'm going to start with the outside of the Christmas tree. So there's like an outside tree. I guess it doesn't have to be a Christmas tree. It could just be a tree. I'm going to start with the outside of the tree. I'm going to ink this up in some tuxedo black memento. So just inking that up. This is going to go right kind of here-ish on my paper. Okay. And then I'm going to take one. I'm going to ink this up. Figure out where the sticky is on my paper. And I'm going to stamp that right on the sticky part. I should have gotten out my masking paper because really the masking paper works fantastically, but I don't know. I grabbed the sticky notes tonight. We're going to do just a little bit of masking. You need to grab your paper snips. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be making this so we can stamp a second tree behind this and have it look like one is in front of the other. And when you do that, you need to make a mask and cut it. So what I'm going to do is I am cutting this. Now I don't need to worry so much. I actually cut the wrong side. I don't need to worry so much about the left side. I should have put the left side on the non-sticky part and the right side on the sticky part, but that's okay. What we really need to worry about is the right side because that is the part that needs to be covered up the most. When I am cutting for a mask, you can see it's a little bit different than when I am cutting to do just a border. I'm just fussy cutting something out. Because when I fussy cut things, I leave a little bit of a border between the stamped image and where I cut. When you are doing a mask, you want to cut right on that line or even just inside that line because this paper has just a little bit of thickness to it. And that little bit of thickness, if you cut outside that line, you're going to end up with like a ghosting image. You're going to have like a blank space in between your two images. So you want to cut right on top of that line or even just, just to the inside of it. All right. So I cut the right side of my Christmas tree, my tree. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to line this up on the tree I already stamped. Again, leaving it so some of that border is showing around my cut edge. And I'm going to stamp another tree behind this one. When you're doing masking, you always want to stamp the image that is in front first. It's kind of backwards. You stamp the image in front first, and you stamp the image that is behind the other images second. So we're going to stamp this tree right back here, just like that. And I also need to stamp the insides of these trees. So I'm going to grab my soft seafoam, a little soft seafoam. I like a little soft seafoam. This is a nice soft card. It's got a lot of white on it. So I'm going to ink up the inside of my little tree with some soft seafoam. And we'll just stamp that. It doesn't I don't know, it doesn't line up perfect. It kind of has a brushy look to it. So I'm going to stamp that right over top. Then I can take off my mask. You could save this. You can put this in your stamp case, save it for later. And then I need to stamp the inside of this tree too. So this is going to come right in here. Just like that. And now I have two trees. See how they look like one is in front of the other because we went ahead and did that masking. So easy. It's a fun little trick. That's super, super simple to do. So, all All right, setting that aside, we need to stamp some bears. So you should have, if you have the card kit, you should have just an extra piece of white, I believe. I hope I remember to put in an extra piece of white. And you want to grab that extra piece of white because we are going to stamp some bears. We're going to stamp a bear on there. I'm going to grab a little piece of white for me. And I'm going to grab the standing up walking bear and stamp him with some tuxedo black memento as well. Hello, Vicky in Battle Creek. We'll add this little bear here. And then I'm going to come in with this little bear that's sitting down. And we're going to stamp him on our card front. So I'm just going to stamp him over here. He's hanging out just like that. All right. Then I want to grab a little bit of balmy blue. We're going to do a little bit of stamping with some balmy blue. So here's my balmy blue. This is going to match the other cardstock that we have in our card. Set this bear aside. I'm going to grab this tag that I cut with the Nested Essentials. I'm going to grab that and I'm going to stamp the sentiment on here. So I'm using the sentiment that Christmas is better together. Inking this up with a little balmy blue. And I'm going to stamp it down here on the bottom of this tag, just like that. All right. The other thing we need to stamp in balmy blue is we're going to add some snowflakes. And I'm going to stamp off. I'm going to stamp twice with these snowflakes, just to give it kind of more different color. Now, if you wanted to, you could, of course, cover that tree back up with your mask that you made and stamp more, behind the tree. Let's do that. Where'd my mask go? When is the punch coming back in stock? The punch will be back in stock the week of November 6th. So it is currently unavailable, but it's coming back the week of November 6th. So in a couple weeks, it'll be back. Kind of a bummer that we don't have it tonight. Or if you were looking to get it right after this class, that's not right available, but it'll be back soon. And honestly, these little bears are pretty easy to cut out too. All right. So I just stamped some snowflakes back there. Welcome, Peggy. You're not that late. We're only on our first card. So, all right. I think that is all of our stamping. We're going to start doing some coloring and some assembling. I'm going to grab my white gray granite Stampin' Blend, and I'm going to color in these little cheat lines as well as along the inside back of his leg. Any place where it might be kind of shadowy, this leg back here. I'm going to do kind of just a little bit right here under this front leg that's in the back too. Just a little bit on his head. Okay. So just with the light gray granite, and then I'm going to take my color lifter and I'm going to come in here with my color lifter and just color all over that. Now it's not going to look like much at first, but as that color lifter evaporates, the gray granite is going to get even lighter and it's just going to look a little bit smudged out. So I'm going to come in and do the same thing. Oh, you know what I was going to do? Should we add a little, let's add a scarf. There's a scarf and a hat for these bears. And I didn't do this on my sample card before, but I looked at it today and I was like, why didn't I put a scarf on the bear? So I'm just going to put a scarf on him. I didn't put a scarf or anything on the other one because I would have had to cut it out. So this one, I'm just going to do it on this little seated bear. That looks pretty cute though. All right, coming in with my gray granite, I'm going to put a little bit under the scarf too. And coloring in the shadowy bits. All right, just a little bit there. And we're going to do the same thing with the color lifter. We're going to come in again. I'm going to try not to get it on the scarf because that may cause the scarf to run a little bit too. It shouldn't, but just avoid the scarf. So there we go. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. All right. Let's do a little assembly. Let's cut out our bear. So I got the bear, our little bear who's standing up. We're going to grab the punch. Just flip the punch over. And you can line that punch right up with that adorable little bear. Just kind of move it till you get it in the right spot. And punch him out. There we go. He's so cute. This, we're gonna adhere the tag. Now for the tag, I want to grab some Stampin' Dimensionals, and I'm gonna put Stampin' Dimensionals on the bottom where the sentiment is, okay? And then you can kind of see through this. So here's where the sentiment is, right? I'm gonna take my green glue and I'm gonna put a little bit of green glue right there because we're gonna cut off this top. So I'm just putting a little bit of green glue right there. You love the way that makes the color lifter work. The color lifter makes it look. Yeah, it is really cool. So I have that on there. We're going to take this and we are going to pop this up at the top. So our sentiment is just, over the edge there. And this is just going to make it look like the top of it is flat and then the bottom is kind of lifted up. Once you have that down, you can use your scissors or paper snips and just very carefully cut it so it lines up. All right. And now I have the balmy blue. Hopefully, how is everyone doing? Are you guys doing okay? Keeping up all right? We're going to adhere this to the balmy blue. I'm using green glue. You can use seal if you like. It's up to you. Whatever adhesive you want to use. I'm using green glue. Put a little of that on there. Line this up. On the blue. And then I'm going to put this on our card base. I'm putting the bear on last, and I'll tell you why. So I'm going to put the bear on last. You could put him on sooner, but I like him to come off the edge of this front piece that we stamped. I like him to come off the side just a little bit. So I like to know where the side is going to be so that he's all the way on the card, but not all the way on the stamped panel. So I hope that makes sense. You're going to see what I mean in just a minute. I'm going to put him on with some dimensionals. So we'll put a dimensional on his head and his little butt and his back legs. And I'm going to grab some minis. You can either grab some minis or cut some dimensionals to put on his little front legs. We'll pull those off. And he is going to go right in here. And do you see how he's kind of like coming out of that frame, but he's still all the way on the card? That's what I'm going for. And that's why I like to put that together so I can see where that is. Now we're going to add a little bit more shading, a little bit more coloring. I know it's kind of scary because we've already put everything together. We're just going to add a little bit of light balmy blue under some edges. So just a little bit of shading under the trees. Oh, I got some on his foot. That's okay. A little bit under this foot. Just kind of adding some there. We're going to come in here just to kind of give them something to stand on, right? And again, I'm going to grab my color lifter and blend that out just a little bit. There we go. Just kind of gives it a little bit of a shade, a little bit of a shadow underneath. So it helps it keep from looking like it's floating, right? It's snowy, it's white, it's snowy, but still people make shadows. Bears make shadows, trees make shadows. So just adding a little bit of shadow. Okay, we need some bling. Don't you think we need some bling? So in your packets, you have some festive pearls, which are super pretty. I'm going to pull these open if I can. Now there are ones, they're actually, I'm pretty sure that they were soft succulent, which we don't have soft succulent anymore. So they're kind of a green. They're also kind of blue. That's the color I'm going to use for this. They almost just look like a muted silver, you know. All right. And I'm just going to add some on here. They're kind of like little bonus snowflakes. So just like that, I put 3 on there. I keep going out of frame tonight. There we go. So there is card number 1, our little bears. Isn't it cute? They're so cute. I just love them. All right, let's do a little bit of cleanup before we start on card number 2. Give everyone a chance to get caught up if you're stamping along with me. I'm just going to clean off my stamps a little bit. Oh, thank you, Karen. I am so glad you like it. I'm glad it's not just me. All right. This class tonight uses a very limited number of inks, actually. It's kind of nice. They all kind of ended up about the same. So I probably almost didn't even need to clean some of these. I don't need to. This guy, I didn't use them. This is what I was looking for. Let's clean off the little scarf. Thank you, Julie. All right, we're going to start on card number 2. Card number 2 is going to be our fun fold card. Let me take a sip of my fake LaCroix. Card number 2 is going to be a fun fold card, and it is going to be a gift card holder. I love gift card holders, especially at Christmas. I don't know. My kids are older now. Well, I shouldn't say that. Yes, my kids are older. I'm gonna rephrase this in a minute. My kids are older, and I find myself buying more gift cards for them at Christmas, which works really good for my daughter and her husband. For the other one, he has a weird habit of never using gift cards and never spending cash. He's absolutely impossible to shop for. Doesn't use gift cards, doesn't use cash, doesn't want anything. Ugh. Yeah. All right, so we have a piece of white in here. We're going to grab card number 2. Oh, thank you, Lynn and Clara. You guys are so sweet. There's a piece of white in here. I have a piece of Old Olive. I cut this with the deckled circle dies. These are an online exclusive. That means that you can only see them online. You can order them online. Well, I mean, I prefer everybody to order online. It's the easiest way to go. But you're not going to find them in any catalogs. You're only going to be able to see them online. They are huge. They're so cool. Actually, let me grab them. Because check out how big these are. And there's a ton of them. Look at this. It's like as big as my hand. They're huge. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. So they go really big all the way down to like thumb size almost. Like the size of a quarter. So I use that to cut the Old Olive piece. And then I have a piece of Pretty Peacock, and this is cut with the Stylish Shapes dies. What's nice is this fits really nice, and I love it because it leaves a border, but it doesn't leave a huge border, which sometimes is my problem with the nesting dies. When you have dies that are the same from the same set, when you put them together, it leaves kind of a big border, and I generally prefer small borders. So I really like putting these two together because it really does give it a really nice size border. Then you have a piece of Old Olive, and you have a piece of Pretty Peacock. You also need to grab the long strip of Pretty Peacock that is in your packet. I'm just like looking at things, making sure I'm on the right track because I mess up all the time. So this is already folded for you in your kit, but I scored this at 3 1/4 and 7 1/2. So I scored this at 3 1/4 and 7 1/2. It's already folded for you in your kit. We're going to start. We need to do a little bit of cutting. So grab your paper, and we want to grab the piece that looks like this. It has trees on one side, and it has a stripe on the other side. You can, Nancy, you can see a little tiny picture of, that's right, I forgot, they're not an online exclusive. They're in the Fall Mini Catalog. They're just hidden in the Fall Mini Catalog. They're like hidden. I didn't see them for a long time because they're just in one little picture. So thank you for reminding me that, Nancy. You are very correct. They are in the Mini Catalog. I was thinking, I don't know why, my brain jumped to them being an online exclusive. I hope they stick around after the Mini Catalog. I hope they move to like being an online exclusive. That would be amazing. All right, we want the piece that looks like this. We have trees on one side. We have stripes on the other side. We are going to start by cutting this to be 5 1/4 inches this way. Okay, so your trees, let me make sure this is going to do us right. Yep. Your trees are going up and down, okay, and we're going to cut at 5 1/4. Just like that. So there's our trees. And now we're going to cut this at 3 inches. We're going to cut one strip that's 3 inches and one strip that is 2 3/4. So we're going to cut up here 3 inches. I hope I do this right. Wait till I do it. And then the other one is 1 3/4. And let's make sure these fit. It is, you know, it's always my luck that I measure or cut things wrong when I do it on screen. All right, this is going to go up here. Perfect. So that was 3 inches by 5 1/4. And then this one, I'm going to flip it over. This is going to go down here, 1 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay. I'm going to come in here and I'm going to adhere my piece of old olive to the inside. Kind of starting in a weird spot, but it'll make sense as we put this together. So I'm going to start by adhering the old olive to the very inside. Just like this. Normally we start on the outside of the card and work in. This time we're starting kind of on the inside. Although I think we're going to come back. We're going to do a little bit of the inside and then come back to it. This one, I'm going to glue it so the stripes are showing. Okay, and it's going to get glued on this front flap. So like fold up the front flap and then glue it down. Okay. So when this flap is open, it's like that, but there we go. Now, this is going to be the part that forms your gift card holder. So I wanted to put a little thumb notch in there. So what I did, grab my little bear punch. I'm going to check and figure out kind of where the center of this is. So the center is going to be at 2 and I want to say 2 3/4. Is that right? 1, 2, yeah, 2 3/4. So I'm measuring 2 3/4. For me, that is this green line right here. Just kind of checking out where the center is. I'm going to take my little bear. I'm going to take his little butt, and I'm going to center his butt over that center mark, over the center green one. And this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just going to punch that. And that's just going to give us that little tiny thumb notch, you know, so it's like easier to get to. Whatever, just looks cute. So, and then I'm going to take this and I'm just going to put a little bit of adhesive on these outside edges. And I'm going to fold it up. And that's just going to create the spot where we can tuck a gift card to give a gift card. Just like that. Isn't that fun? Super fun. All right, let's do a little bit of stamping. You like the color combo? I know, isn't that color combo gorgeous? I love the old olive with the pretty peacock. I'm going to do a little bit of stamping. My card out of the way. Helps to have my sample card in front of me. I'm going to start with the pretty peacock, and I'm going to grab my white ink pad. Okay, so I have my white craft ink pad. I'm going to ink up the inside of the tree. And I'm going to stamp 3 trees on here. So there we go. Just kind of giving us a little bit of a tree background. I'm going to clean off my stamp before I stick something in it. Because that would be my luck. Again, you should have some scrap white in your packets. I'm going to grab mine, and I'm going to stamp this bear right here. Now, do not use, in your packet, you have this piece of white right here. Don't use this one. This was in the envelope. Don't use that one. We need that for something else. I'm going to grab a scrap, and I'm going to stamp my bear on this. We're going to do our little standing up bear again. Stamp him with the tuxedo black memento. Hello, Wendy. And then I'm going to grab my little bear, my little baby bear, and I'm just going to stamp him on here too. He's so cute. He's just so cute. All right, we're going to color these just like we did before. So I'm grabbing my light gray granite, and I'm going to color on those little lines, and then on the backs and the bottoms of things, anywhere where there might be a little bit of shadow. This front leg behind there. How's everybody doing that's actually making cards tonight? Let me know if things are going way, way too fast. Don't worry though, this video, you can always come back and watch it again later. And when you watch it later, you can stop it and start it. So if you need to stop at some point and work on something, you can do that. So it's kind of the nice thing about videos. So adding a little color to my little baby bear. And then just like before, I'm going to grab my color lifter, and I'm going to color with my color lifter. Right over all of that gray granite, just to smudge it out a little bit. I think my color lifter is starting to get dry. It's hard to tell with the color lifter when it gets dry, but it starts getting awfully squeaky, and you just notice that it's just not doing anything. And I think that my color lifter is starting to get dry. Time for a new one. That happens, right? It's just like a marker. Markers don't last forever. All right, there's our bears. Let's punch out this big one. I love this punch. I wish there was more punches. So I'm going to punch out the big bear. There's our big bear. And then we're gonna cut out the little bear. It's not too bad. It's pretty easy. So don't be scared. If you want to leave the little bear off, you can, but he'll be sad. And he's just so cute. What is it about baby animals that is just too adorable? Too cute for words. When I'm fussy cutting, a lot of times I cut off the extra. It just makes it easier to get your scissors in there. Coming around, moving my paper more than I move the scissors. come right up here to these feet. Now I'm going to cut across from this front foot to the back foot. I'm going to come back in a minute, but if you wanted to, you could just leave it like that. So you can see, whoops, why did I switch? I don't know what happened there. Hopefully it hasn't been like that for long. You can kind of see how I left that. So if you want to leave it like that, you definitely could. I'm going to come in. It's not too hard. I'm going to come in and cut between the legs. But again, if fussy cutting isn't your jam, you could just leave this little guy off. All right. Trying to get it so he doesn't have a completely pointed foot. There is our little bear. He's so cute. So we got a big bear and a little bear. We're going to do a little bit of stamping on this piece of white too while we're doing our stamping. I'm going to grab the sentiment again that says Christmas is better together. And I'm going to grab some Pretty Peacock. Ink this up in some Pretty Peacock and just stamp this on this white. And then I'm going to stamp some Pretty Peacock trees. You could also do these in Old Olive. If you have some Old Olive, you could definitely do that. I'm just going to go ahead and do Pretty Peacock. And I'm just kind of doing 3 of them. So there we go. Super cute. And this is going to go on this top. So this goes inside our card on the top. Just like this. There we go. All right. Oops, did that come undone? No, it's okay. So there's our card. We'll go ahead and close this. Now this tree part, remember we cut that piece of tree? This is going to go on the front. I'm going to go ahead and adhere this to the front. It's going to go right here. I love these trees. They're just so like whimsical, you know? All right. So those are going to go on the front, just like that. And then we're going to make our belly band. We got the start of it here. And I'm just going to take this and wrap it around. Just take the other half, wrap it around. You want to get it like tight, but not too tight. It's got to be able to move a little bit. I'm going to do it this way just because it's going to work better with the circle. I like to put a little bit, so I'll close one half of it. I'll put just a little bit of adhesive on that end and then the other end on the open side. And then we just close that up. There we go. And we're going to put down the green. Okay. So I'm going to flip this over where I want it. I always like to flip it over and lay it where I want it on there. And then I can see where to put my glue. Right. I'll flip it over. And I'm going to put this kind of like towards the bottom a little bit. Started too high. That's okay. There we go. And then we'll add our Pretty Peacock piece. This card's almost done. With those trees on there. And then I'm going to grab my little bears. We're going to put these on with some Stampin' Dimensionals. So I'm going to grab my Stampin' Dimensionals, one on his head, one on his little backside, one on his back legs. Grab some minis for his front feet, his front legs. There we go. We're going to glue the big bear on first. We'll just put him like right in here. And then the little bear is going to go over here. So what we're going to do, we're going to put just a little mini dimensional on this back leg. So back here. And we'll put some glue on the top of him because he's going to mostly glue to the big bear. So there we go. And then it looks like they're kind of walking together. And there is card number 2. Isn't that fun with our bears on there? And then that just slides right off. And you can open it up and have a gift card or even cash tucked in there. Super, super easy gift card holder. Slide this back on. And what I love is that you could put this in an envelope, right? This is envelope size. So you can put this in an envelope and mail it if you wanted. But if you are like me, sometimes I like to have gift cards that are wrapped and look pretty under the tree. So I would be tempted just to put the gift card in there and put this on the tree just like this, because I feel like it's like a little wrapped present, right? Because it's so cute. So you can do either one though, because it'll fit in an envelope too. So super fun. That is card number 2. Thank you, Anna. I'm so glad you guys like it. All right, I'm going to clean up some stamps. And we're going to do card number 3, which will be our last card. So clean off this Christmas tree stamp. I think it's almost time for me to get a new chamois. This one's looking pretty drudgy. Clean that little bear. Clean my sentiment. Clean my big bear. Things are getting crazy out over here. Starting to turn a mess. Oh, so very cute. That is great. Oh, thank you. I'm so glad you guys like it. All right, we're going to do a super simple Christmas card for the next one. So I hope that you like it. This is card number 3. Let me know how you're doing over there. Card number 3. This one, you're going to want to grab, you should have like a little bonus piece of old olive. And then we're going to pull out the guts for card 3. We have a piece of balmy blue, a piece of basic white, and this little cloud cut piece of basic white, and a pretty peacock. I keep getting stuck on the word pretty peacock tonight. Pretty peacock base. This I cut with the Border Basics dies. It looks like a cloud, but I also like to think it looks like snow. And that's what we're using it for, is like a snow look. So the first thing we need to do is we need to cut a piece of the Walk in the Woods Designer Series paper. And this is going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, I'm going to try something different. You guys can do what you want. You can choose which one you want. For the original, we want to save this one because we need one of these pieces. So you should have a piece in your paper. I checked everyone's. Everyone has a piece with a brown bear on it. Grab a piece of the paper with a brown bear on it. We're going to need that in just a second. And then I want to grab, so I used on my sample, I used this polka dot one. Super cute. But I think I'm going to use this snowflake one. Same colors, just a different card, just a different look. So I'm going to grab this snowflake. It's going to be 3 3/4 by 5 inches. There we go. And cut this one at 5 as well. So pretty. We have a major snowstorm on this bear. All right. So I'm going to start. I'm going to adhere. Actually, no. We need to do a little bit of stamping first. This should fit right on here, though, eventually. Oh, that's going to look cute, I think. Grab your piece of old olive. Okay, we're going to grab the piece of old olive. Grab your Pretty Peacock ink. We're going to stamp some Christmas trees, the outline of the tree in Pretty Peacock. We need 3 of these. I'm going to stamp them like this. So just need 3 of them. And then we're going to grab the white again, and we're going to do the inside with white ink. I'm going to grab the white and the inside tree and ink this up again. Get it nice and inky. And try to get it in there. There we go. We're going to do the next one. And we're going to do the last one. Now the white will lighten a little bit as it dries, but it's still really cool looking. If you wanted a brighter white, you could emboss these with white embossing powder, but I kind of like the kind of washed out soft look of it. So that's what I stuck with this time. I'm going to set these aside and just let them dry a little bit. We're going to do just a couple of their steps while that's kind of doing that. I'm going to grab the piece of white that's cut with that die cut edge and the Pretty Peacock ink. And I'm going to stamp the Merry Christmas in Pretty Peacock right down here on the lower left. Just like that. All right. Set that aside. And we need to get our bear because we need a bear on this one, right? So I'm going to grab this piece. I'm going to go ahead and just trim out the bear, leaving a border. So just grab my bear. If you need to, if you don't have enough to hold on to, and I don't know if I will, you can grab a sticky note. Yeah, see, this is a little tight. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a sticky note. That's why it's always good to have sticky notes in your craft room. I'm going to grab my sticky note. I'm just going to put this underneath on one side and just use this. Actually, I'm going to put it towards the bottom a little more. I'm going to use this to kind of as a paper extender. So now I can kind of hold on to this and maneuver my bear a little bit better. So get him lined up in that punch. We have an adorable brown bear. And now, hopefully these are dry enough. You probably don't want to touch them too much. If you want to, and you have a heat tool, you could zap them with a heat tool. I am just going to try not to touch them as I carefully fussy cut around them. I know, kind of a bummer that there's not also a punch for these trees. But again, they're pretty easy. Mostly it's hard because I'm trying not to touch the white. Just cut those other ones off. And just carefully cut around these. And I always leave a little border when I'm fussy cutting. Now, if you didn't register for this class and you want to get the full set of tutorials for this, they are now available in my tutorial store. So you are welcome to pop over there and grab them. The blog post is also up on my blog if you want to see the supply list for these cards. Oh, why did I switch again? I don't know what's going on. I don't know why it switches like that. I did not do anything. I don't know if I'm like getting notifications on my phone or something, even though it's on Do Not Disturb. Hopefully it's not that it's overheating. I have that problem, but it is not summer anymore, so we should not be overheating. And if you didn't get registered for this card class and you're not already on my mailing list, make sure that you pop on my mailing list, because if you want to know about my upcoming classes and events and anything else, that is the best way to find out about them, is to make sure you're on my mailing list. I send out an email about once a week. I send out some free tutorials in there as well. And that's the best way to always know what is happening and what classes and things I have coming up next. So if you're on YouTube, you can pop into the description to this video and you're going to find the link to get on my email list in there. So, right, there is tree number 2. You're glad I have the tutorials available for purchase. Well, I am glad too. So I always like it, you can always register for the class. There's always an option to get the tutorials only for the class. And then I usually make the tutorials available after the class as well. So just sitting here like talking, joining late. Oh, Kimberly, you got a surprise visit from your daughter. What fun. What fun. If you haven't heard already, I am having a special mystery craft box that I am sending out in the middle of November using the Joy of Noel stamp set and dies. I'm putting this together with my friend Melissa, and we had so much fun making projects. You get all the pre-cut cardstock and the supplies to make 12 cards, 2 each of 6 different designs. I shouldn't say cards, I should say projects, because they are not all cards. They are cards and other projects. You also get fun little pillow gifts that we are having a blast like putting together for you. You get all of the written tutorials with that. There's no video or anything. This is really a do it on your own, whenever you want to do it, kind of, do your own stuff, right? But it's really cool. I'm really excited to send it out. So, all right, we're going to start adhering some trees on here. I'm going to go ahead and I want to put my first tree. I like to kind of lay it on there. So I'm going to put it about right there. And we're just going to glue these on flat. I'm just keeping my finger there so I remember where I wanted it. So yeah, so registration deadline is this next weekend already for the mystery craft box. So if you want in on that, make sure that you grab it before it's gone, because we have to have time to put everything together and get it ready. The last day to register for the mystery craft box is, I think, the 28th, but maybe the 30th. I think it was supposed to be the 28th, and I might have accidentally put the 30th someplace, but the idea was next weekend, 28th, 29th. Hopefully that makes sense. So, Kimberly, I think you're already registered. Oh, no, that is Karen. Sorry, I thought it was Kimberly asking me a question. Yes, Karen, that's when it's due. The names, I had Kimberly and then Karen right in a row. You're looking forward to the mystery craft box? Yeah, me too. It's kind of something different. My friend Melissa was telling me that she was doing them, and I was like, well, I want to try that. And she's like, well, come and do it with me. So we're working on it together. And Melissa makes awesome projects too. So. All right. I'm going to put this on here on the bottom. I think I forgot to say, I'm now adhering my snowy bank. I like the snow bank. I'm going to put on that snow bank. I'm going to add, one more. I'm going to add my other tree. My last tree is going to go over here, and I'm going to put it on dimensionals, and I'm going to pop it off the edge. But this time, remember that first card? I said that I put it together first because I wanted the bear coming off the frame, but I didn't want him off the card. This time, we're actually going to cut off the edge. So I'm going to do it now first so that I can cut it so that it lines up with the edge of my cardstock. So I'm putting the dimensionals just down one side because I'm going to cut the other side. This is going to come in here about like that. So I have my tree, and then I'm just going to flip it over. That probably would have been a cool background too. I'm going to flip it over and just trim this off. So there we go. And now I can adhere this to the blue. So this is going on the balmy blue. So cute. Put this balmy blue in here. There we go. We're going to add our little bear. I'm going to put the bear on dimensionals as well. Oops, let's take off the rest of our sticky note. You love the layouts and dimensions of these. Oh, Cindy, I'm so glad. I'm so glad you like them. All right. Putting some dimensionals on my little bear legs. Let's grab a mini. Where'd my minis go? I like to get this little leg up here so it's not hanging. It's not flopping. All right, pull all these backs off. We're going to slide our little bear just a little bit behind the tree. Just so he looks like he's taking a stroll out from the woods. So cute. This goes on our card front. On that pretty peacock. Make sure you got your opening on the right side. Right in here. And then we can add some of these little silver ones. Oh, I can tell it's getting to be the end of the night. Whew, getting tired. I'm going to put these actually on the trees. I don't know. I can't decide if I like this or don't like this when I did it, but I'm doing it again. So we're going to use a few of these. There we go. So we just have some little silver baubles on our trees. And I want to stamp the inside. So you have a piece of white for the inside. Let's stamp the inside. I'm going to grab, I'm going to clean off my tree. Now you could do this pretty peacock if you want to. If you have some old olive, you could grab your old olive. I think I'm going to grab my old olive, but like I said, this definitely would work with pretty peacock too. And I know we already got pretty peacock out, so I'm going to grab my old olive. And I'm just going to stamp a couple trees on here for the inside of my card. Just like that. Just a little bonus. Make the inside look pretty. You could stamp your envelopes too. Make your envelopes look pretty. All right. Whew. Did you make all those cards? We're going to look at them again in just a second. I'm going to pop this on the inside. Now, I'm going to be back on Thursday. Thursday night, I'm going to be using the Joy of Noel, which is the same one that's where I'm using for the mystery craft box. So I have even more ideas to use that Joy of Noel. So extra value for you. That's going to be coming up on Thursday night. So definitely join me for that. But look at this cute card. He's so cute. Just a bear walking in the woods. Now you tell me which one you like better. I'll show you the sample. It has like the big dots, or we have the snowflake. I don't know. What do you think? There we go. That is card number 3. We have our fun fold, our gift card holder. And then, of course, we had our polar bears in the snow from the first one. So thank you all so much for joining me tonight. I hope that you have had as much fun creating as I have. And you like the snow better, Mimi? Good to know. Dots? Karen likes the dots. All right, we could go either direction. I want to try it with those white and blue trees too. I think that would look cute too. Julie likes the big dots too. All right, we're trying everything tonight. Your favorite is the gift card holder. Good to know. I love gift card holders. So I hope to see y'all again on Thursday night. We are going to be using that Joy of Noel stamp set, this one right here. We're going to make some really cool cards with it. And we're going to do some different colors. That's all I'm going to tell you. We're going to do some different colors. I will see you all on Thursday. Have a great evening.